up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video I am building a very cutesy little cottage in Windenburg. So yeah, I finally had time to purchase and sit down and play with the new nifty knitting stuff bag. I know everyone has their hands on it already and you've probably seen a whole bunch of craft inspired cutesy looking pastel colored builds already, but yeah, I hope you're not tired of it yet because I have this one for you today. But yeah, I was out of town for like a week and a half, so I was looking after my parents' house, staying at my parents' house and taking care of the cats because my parents were on vacation. Basically, they were visiting my sister. She lives abroad, all safe and responsible, of course, but they were visiting her for like a week and a half. So I was not at home and I did not have access to my computer until Friday, which was yesterday for me. So yeah, I finally had time to sit down and buy the new stuff bag and play with it, and yeah, so I was definitely very excited to just sit down and build because like I mentioned, I was gone for like a week and a half, so that also meant that I did not have access to my game. I could not play The Sims for a week and a half, which it was kind of nice to be away from everything that I'm used to for a little bit, but yeah, sooner than later I was already really craving some building and playing some Sims. So yeah, when I got home, I was really excited to finally buy the stuff bag, sit down and build something with it. I was so inspired to build a tiny little, yeah, cute little cottage like this one. So yeah, that's what I did. Like you can see, I was definitely fiddling around with the roofing a lot. Like, it was not easy for some reason, which was fun because like I just mentioned, I hadn't been able to play The Sims for like a week and a half. So I was ready to like fiddle around with things and just sit down and build. I did not have any inspiration pictures for this one either. I just sat down and started building because I had been craving that for like a week. So yeah, I was definitely very excited, and I hope you like it. It's basically, like I mentioned, just a tiny little cottage with an attic space upstairs. Basically, it's just a second floor, but it kind of feels like an attic to me. Like you will see that once we move on to the interior. And I turned the attic space into a craft space. So like, it's a very nice space up there. It's not small by any means. So yeah, I turned that into a crafts room and used all the new items from the stuff bag that I could fit in there, literally. So yeah, that was really fun to do. But you can really see the shape of the house come together. I am really happy with the way that it turned out. Like, this lot in Windenburg, it's a 20 by 20 if I'm not mistaken. It's in the more foresty area that is on the top left of the world when you open the world. Like, it's not the island area, it's not the downtown area, it's the other area basically. So the more foresty area, which is one of my favorite areas out of all of the worlds that we have in The Sims. I just think it's so dreamy and so beautiful and just the perfect area to build cottages like this. So I immediately knew that I wanted to use this 20 by 20 lot in that part of Windenburg to build something cutesy like this. It's very pastel. I used a lot of pinks on the outside as well. You will see that once, well, you can see that right here. I just skipped over the me looking for the perfect wallpaper because that always takes me so long. So I just kind of did not record that part. But you can see that I used pinks and blues on the exterior combined with some gray bricks and some more neutral toned bricks to kind of tone it down a little bit. And then all the accents like the windows and the columns and stuff, they're all white. So it has a lot of white accents. So it's really pastel colored and bright and just really cutesy, like I mentioned. But yeah, you can really see the outside come together. Like I mentioned, I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. I did the floor plan before I moved on to the landscaping because I wasn't quite sure if it was going to work out. But the floor plan actually came together quite easily. Like I don't know, it was kind of easy to do the floor plan for this one, which was really nice because floor planning is not something that I am great at doing. So I'm really happy when a floor plan just kind of comes together very easily like it did for this build. But yeah, once I figured out the floor plan, I kind of moved back to the outside of the build. I was kind of like just going back and forth between the interior and the exterior for a little while there. But yeah, I moved on to the exterior of the build again. And yeah, I am just going to do some landscaping and doing some detail work on the exterior of the build, which I always really like doing for cottages like this, or just builds in general, basically. I really like paying attention to all the little details and stuff like that, and just adding some lining and just roof lining and things like that. So yeah, I did use a whole bunch of packs in this build. I didn't restrict myself to using only base game and nifty knitting because well, like I already mentioned, I was just really feeling like sitting down and building and going all out and just letting all my creativity flow, basically. That sounds really weird. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I basically gave the house a back porch as well, and a front porch, of course, like you can see. And then for the storyline for this build, I wasn't like thinking that it was in particular like for a grandma. It could easily be for a grandma or a grandpa, like for an elderly sim in general. You could easily go that route, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a elderly sim, in my opinion. I was thinking more in the lines of a younger sim, actually, for this one. I don't know why, but just a younger sim who loves to craft and just loves to spend their day, yeah, just crafting away, knitting, and doing all sorts of things. Like, I was imagining that this sim is into all sorts of crafts. I also gave them an easel up on the balcony space, and I also gave them a whole heap of planter boxes, or not a whole heap, just a couple of planter boxes, and the flower arrangement table and things like that. So I was really imagining that this sim was into all sorts of crafts. Like, they just spend their day just crafting, basically. And I was also thinking that that is how they earn their money, how they make an income for themselves. Like, they just probably sell everything on Plopsy, which I know from gameplay videos, I know that the things that you sell on Plopsy don't actually make you that much money, and it also can take like a little while before you actually sell something. So Plopsy, I don't think, is designed to actually be your main source of income, basically. But I was just kind of imagining that for this sim, everything they craft, they sell either on Plopsy or in a store or somewhere else. But that is just basically what they do. They craft and they sell everything they craft, and that is how they make money. So that is basically why they decided to move to a little cottage in the forest, because that gives them all the space that they need for gardening and stuff, but also gives them a lot of space inside of the house, which gives them more than enough room to do all their crafts. And this house has the perfect attic space to turn into a crafts room. So that was what I was imagining for this sim. So once we move on to the floor plan, you can see that I gave them a little bedroom downstairs and then a bigger crafts room upstairs. So what I was imagining is for this build, the room that I turned into a bedroom downstairs was actually supposed to be like a little office area of some sorts. And then the room upstairs was supposed to be a bedroom with an ensuite, because the full bathroom is also upstairs. And then there's another half bathroom downstairs. So the original idea for this house was that upstairs there's an area for a bedroom and an ensuite, and then downstairs there's a little extra room that you can turn into either a office space or just like an extra bedroom for whenever someone's staying over or something. But I just decided that this sim didn't want it to be like that, because so they basically decided to turn the smaller room downstairs into their bedroom, because they don't need that much space for a bedroom, but they do need a lot of space for a crafts room. So that's why this sim decided to turn the little room downstairs into their bedroom and turn the bigger space upstairs, like the attic space, quote unquote, into their crafts room, because they just needed all that space. So yeah, that's what I was thinking happened for this house and for this sim. You can really see that I went all out with the landscaping. It's very colorful and bright and cutesy, all sorts of plants and flowers and shrubs. And yeah, I was definitely having a lot of fun with the landscaping, and I do think that it really suits the build. I think it looks really cutesy and pretty, and just very lush and overgrown, which is exactly the vibe that I wanted to, yeah, to kind of achieve for this house. So here you can see we moved on to the inside of the house. There is this half bathroom downstairs. There is a nice entryway, and then the entryway leads to the open kitchen and living area. And then, like I mentioned, the smaller room is going to be the bedroom. So yeah, that's basically what I had in mind for this sim and for this house. Just a cute little storyline there. You can fit 2 Sims in this house if you want to, because the double bed in the bedroom is accessible from both sides, so you can easily decide to have 2 Sims living here. But for my storyline, I was kind of imagining that this Sim lives alone, and they could also have like a dog or a cat. Like I didn't place down any pet items, but you could have like a cat. You can't have a dog, I suppose, because there's no a tub in this house. There's only a shower upstairs, so you won't be able to wash your dog, which is something that you would need for a dog. But I was imagining that the Sim could easily have a cat, even though I didn't place any like food bowls or anything. I was just kind of thinking that you could just kind of decide for yourself if you want the Sim to have a pet or not. But it could easily fit in here and yeah, be really cute, because when the Sim that lives here is living alone, I thought it'd be a cute idea to give them a pet or something. But yeah, you can just kind of go ahead and decide that for yourself, or just go with a whole different storyline. Of course, it's all up to you. You can always change my builds to whatever you want to, obviously, when you download them. Yeah, but here you can see I was fiddling around with the placement of the kitchen. It's quite a spacious kitchen for a small house like this, but for some reason I just thought it suited this build. Yeah, there's basically a lot of kitchen space, but I cluttered it up a whole bunch, and I placed down these cabinets on the wall as well to just kind of fill up the space. I don't normally like placing counters or cabinets in front of large windows right there, but for some reason for this build I didn't really mind. And you can also you can't see it from the outside, because like you can see right there, there's that large flower box on the window basically, so you can't see that I placed those counters in front of floor-to-ceiling windows, which I usually don't do because I just don't like placing items in front of larger windows. But for this one, because you can't see it from the outside, I just didn't mind, and I really like the windows for this build, so I just went with it. Because the kitchen is so spacious, I didn't really have any space for a larger dining table, so I just went with a smaller round dining table. And then here I am placing down the living area, and I love those couches and that chair that we got with Nifty Knitting. I think they're really cute. Like the swatches are very bright and colorful, though we do have a couple of neutral swatches too. I mean, I do wish, like a lot of other Simmers, that we got more neutral swatches for the items that we have in this pack. That would make them a little bit more like versatile or versatile. I never know how to pronounce that word, but I'm pretty sure that you know what I mean. But yeah, I do wish that we had just a couple more neutral swatches. But then again, I do really enjoy the brighter swatches that we got in this pack. Like for example, that green or teal colored chair that I placed down. I think that is just so pretty. That is one of my favorite colors, and I love it combined with that yellow pillow. So I was inspired by the swatch of that chair, and I placed down heaps of yellow accents throughout this living area, but just throughout the whole build basically. I was just imagining that yellow is this Sim's favorite color probably. And yeah, then don't even get me started on all the clutter items that we got in this pack. I think they are so adorable, and they're everything that I ever asked for. Like those things that you can knit in the game, they are just so pretty, and obviously I unlocked them to be able to use them throughout the build already, which makes the catalog really messy. Which is something that I heard a lot of people talk about already, so that's kind of a little bit annoying. But then again, it's all worth it because the items that we got in this pack, the clutter items, are just so stinking cute, and I can't stop using them. I did repeat a couple of those items throughout this build, but they're all still very shiny and new to me, so whenever we get new items, I don't really mind repeating them throughout a build because they're so new and so nice, and yeah, I don't know, I just don't really mind it. Like you can probably see, I placed down, by the way, I placed down a camera on the coffee table because I was also thinking that this sim is into photography. So they are just very creative all around. They like to knit, they like to, what's it called? Crochet or something. Just basically anything DIY, anything crafting, they are into that. So they're also into photography, they're also into painting and into gardening, like I mentioned already. But yeah, this sim is basically just very creative all around. But yeah, here you can see that I went back into the kitchen because I hadn't cluttered it up yet. So that's what I will do right now. I gave them a microwave, which is not something that I do all the time. I oftentimes forget about placing down appliances like that. I don't know why, but I guess it's just because I want all this counter space to be able to clutter it up. But yeah, I gave them a microwave in this build. I didn't give them a dishwasher, which is something that I actually never do. I'm just still not used to being able to use dishwashers in The Sims 4, I guess, even though it's an update, it's a base game update that we got like a long time ago, but I'm just still not used to placing down dishwashers for some reason, and I also just really don't like the look of it. They're just a little bit too modern. So whenever I am building a kitchen like this that is very open planned and you can basically see the kitchen wherever you are in the living room. So I just don't like placing down dishwashers when it comes to a house like that because I just don't think they're that pretty and nice to look at. So I just didn't really want to ruin, quote unquote, the nice brown color of the cabinets by placing down a dishwasher. I just really wanted everything to be, yeah, just as brown and wood toned as possible, basically. But yeah, here you can see me placing down, there's this awkward little hallway that leads into the bedroom, but it actually gave me the perfect amount of space to place down an extra bookcase, because I did place down a bookcase where the dining table is, but that bookcase is not accessible. So I did want to have an accessible bookcase in this house, basically, because for gameplay purposes, that is just yeah, that is just very useful and handy. And I placed down that little shelving unit that we got from Eco Lifestyle. I think it fits perfectly in that little corner right there, and it was so satisfying. Just the perfect item to place down in that little corner. But yeah, I just kind of just placed down some decorations in this hallway right here. Placed down that mirror. I was also thinking that this sim really likes to go to thrift stores and to like just markets and buy older looking furniture and older looking decorations. Not so much furniture maybe, but definitely older looking decorations. Which is why I placed down that little mirror in the hallway right there, that very old looking mirror that looks really thrifted, and that is exactly what I was thinking that this sim was into. But here you can see I moved on to the tiny little bedroom that I talked about before. I was trying to do something fun and funky for the headboard, but I couldn't really figure it out. So in the end, I just placed down those two dressers that came with Tiny Living, because there is no space whatsoever in this bedroom to place down a bigger dresser. So those dressers really came in handy, and I just kind of connected them with those shelves. So it kind of looks like some sort of headboard item that you can buy at IKEA or something. I don't know. That's just kind of the vibe that it gave me, and I was really happy with the way that it turned out. So yeah, I just basically cluttered it up with a whole bunch of items from Nifty Knitting again. I love that little teddy bear and then the little knitted Grim. I think it's so cute and yarny, and just that turtle. Everything just looks so cute. But you can see that I used a whole bunch of yellow, bright yellow accents again, like nothing too crazy, but I was just so happy. Like, I know that I'm using that bed from Eco Lifestyle again, which is all I have ever been using ever since we got Eco Lifestyle, but it has that bright yellow, tiny little knitted looking pillow in the middle, and that was just so perfect combined with the darker wood tone. So this bed, I just could not just leave it there. Like, I had to use it for this build. It was way too perfect. But yeah, that was basically already it for the bedroom. Like I mentioned, it's really small. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. And then this is the attic space that I was talking about, which is basically just a second floor, but it kind of feels like an attic to me for some reason. It just has that vibe. I don't know why. It kind of feels like an attic to me, and I am all about it. Like, I just think it's so cute. I used carpet in here, which I barely ever use carpet ever, but for some reason this pack and the items that we got with this pack inspire me to use carpet. I don't know. It probably is that grandma vibe that it has about it. I don't know what it is exactly. But yeah, here you can see that I placed down all the items that we got with Nifty Knitting. I placed down the desk and then the other shelving unit, and I will also place down a rocking chair in here as well. And all the shelving units that we got, and I cluttered it up with everything that we have in the pack basically, and I was so happy while decorating this room. Like, I don't know, it just really made me happy. I love the items that we got with this pack. They are so cute and just so perfect, and yeah, basically just everything I have been wanting in my game for a long time. I don't know why, but it's just so nice to actually have an extra purpose to decorate a room for, if that makes any sense. Like, you can now decorate a crafting room and it's actually useful, and we actually have the items for it, which is really nice. Before we didn't have that, which basically is the purpose of a pack, I suppose. But yeah, it's just really nice. For example, when you're building like bigger homes, you can now turn one room into a just regular study, but you can also now dedicate one full room to a crafting area, and I think that is really nice. It really gives you an extra purpose to decorate a room for, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just really happy about it, and this attic space up here is just so cozy to me. I love it. It makes me so happy. All the bright colors, which I'm sure I'll get sick of in a little while, but for now I'm just really enjoying the brighter colors that we have in this pack. So yeah, I feel like I'm repeating myself a little bit. I hope it's not annoying, but yeah, I'm just really so excited about this pack. But yeah, basically, like I mentioned, I have been away for a week and a half, so it's been a while since I actually recorded a voiceover as well, so I was really nervous going into it, but also really excited because I love filming videos and doing voiceovers, and it's just really something that I'm so passionate about. So I'm really happy to be able to sit down again and just do a voiceover. But yeah, it was also really nice to just kind of leave my house for a little while and be in a different environment basically, and be surrounded by cats, because like I mentioned, my parents, they do have 2 cats, and every single hour that I get to spend surrounded by those cats is very precious to me. I don't know, it sounds a little crazy, but I love cats, and I love those cats in particular. They're so stinking cute. And yeah, I'm not able to have cats in the apartment where I live, so yeah, every time I get to go home to my parents' house and see the cats, I'm just really happy. So that was something that made me very happy. I do know that I did upload actually a couple videos, but I haven't been able to upload for the past few days. Actually, it's Friday today. I think this video will be going up on either Saturday or Sunday. So I did actually upload on, I will actually upload tonight, which is Friday night, which is going to be for the charity collab, but that one was actually pre-recorded. And then I did have like some other pre-recorded videos going up in the past week or so. Yeah, but those were all pre-recorded, and so was the charity collab one. So this is actually the very first one that I am, recording real time basically, and uploading in a day or so. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, and I really hope that you do enjoy this video. I hope you're not sick of all the Nifty Knitting videos already. I do have another Nifty Knitting build in the works, but that one is an apartment, and that one is definitely less cutesy and less pastel colored and everything. So yeah, that one is a little bit different, but still very much inspired by crafting. So I hope you're not sick of it yet. I hope you're still enjoying it. But yeah, here you can see that I moved on to the outside area, the backyard basically. I did place down a little dining table outside as well. And then here you can see that I placed down the flower arrangement table and then that other, yeah, just kind of outside gardening shelving unit that we got with Eco Lifestyle. I think that is just such a cute item and so perfect to like create a little area where you can do flower arranging and things like that. And I placed down that well, which I think is really pretty. It's a dried out well or something. I don't know exactly what it's called in the catalog, but I've never used that item before, I don't think. But for this build, I just thought it was so perfect and so cute. And yeah, I placed down a couple of planter boxes because, like I mentioned, the sim is into gardening and into flowers and stuff like that. So yeah, I just did a little bit of extra landscaping, and yeah, then that is basically already going to be it for this build. So you can download this build off the gallery, obviously, if you want to. My username is Simmarysims on the gallery. You can also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter if you'd like. My username on there is @Simmarysims as well. So yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next build. Bye everybody!